A warm welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update. It's the 14th day of October. Thanks for joining us. Barbados recorded 5 new COVID-19 cases today. The patients, all visitors, discovered they had the virus after being retested. The new cases are 2 men, ages 28 and 35, who arrived on British Airways on October 10 and 12 respectively, and 3 women, a 19-year-old who arrived on American Airlines on October 8, a 37-year-old who arrived on Guyana on September 30, and a 35-year-old who came in on Air Canada on September 24. The female visitor from Canada is a contact of a previous case confirmed on September 29. The development prompted a statement from Minister of Health Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic this evening, who assured the Ministry of Health is on top of the situation. In an interview with Barbados Today, he disclosed that the island will soon have additional technology to boost its fight against the COVID-19 pandemic, and he maintained that the island's travel protocols are effective.
Yes, I'm satisfied. The protocols have been working, and it is as a result of the protocols that we've been able to contain the situation. And I must say I can't wait to get hold of the digital equipment and items that we'll be getting in a few weeks' time, including wristbands and COVID apps and so on. That is going to significantly increase our capacity to be able to deal with visitors coming into the country. But we've been doing quite well so far, and we've been able to contain any situation that has arisen. There have been 1 or 2 challenges here and there, but we've been able to overcome those challenges, and we'll continue to do so.
Meanwhile, head of the isolation facilities, Dr. Corey Ford, today reported that there are now 16 people in isolation, including 2 who are critically ill. The 2 are both Barbadian, an 81-year-old male and a 76-year-old male, who are currently not on ventilators but are receiving oxygen. Meanwhile, 192 people have recovered. Barbados has recorded 215 cases of COVID-19, and the Public Health Laboratory has completed 29,017 tests. In other news, the Battleground constituency of St. George North is the venue for the Barbados Labour Party's 82nd annual conference that will occur just 3 weeks before the November 11 by-election. The October 23 and 24 meeting will be held under the theme COVID Cannot Hold Us Back and features a keynote address by the party's candidate for the seat, Tony Moore. Outgoing St. George MP Glenn Clark will also be honoured with a celebration for his contribution to the BLP and the constituency that he served for 26 years. Chairman of the conference, John King, assured strict COVID-19 protocols are in place, even as he explained the party's decision to host a conference in the constituency.
Every year, we try to be in places where we expect people to have a new experience, and so you will see that it goes around all the time. Now, in terms of choosing St. George Secondary, of course, this is an area where we haven't had a conference for a very long time, and so for me, I believe that when we made the decision to do this, it wasn't just based on a by-election or anything, but it was really looking at where are some of the places, and it would have come down to a number of places, but where are some of the places that we would not have reached out to in, let's say, probably the last 4 or 5 years. And certainly St. George, the thing itself, would have been one of those. And I think it's timely. It's also fortuitous that there's a by-election at this particular point in time that falls into it. But let's see. I believe this is good for everybody at this point in time.
Heavy rains drenched the island, which was on the flood flash warning today. The Barbados Meteorological Services explained that the heavy showers were triggered by a passing tropical wave. The system also caused severe thunderstorms and lightning activity, which knocked out power in several parishes. The inclement weather did not dampen celebrations for the island's newest centenarian. Edward Brian Herbert celebrated his milestone with friends and family at his St. Stephen's Hill Blackrock home today. While he wished that his beloved wife, who passed away earlier this year, was alive to join the celebration, he gave thanks for the special occasion and shared advice on how to live long.
Feel to be 100 today?
100% good. To be 100 today.
That's a thing I think funny.
What would you say contributed to your longevity?
Well, learning to live right and do it.
Very good.
Eat the right things, and you go the wrong things. And that is the thing that I do early in life.
So what are some of the things that you eating? What's some of the eating? Tell me something about the eating right. What's some of the things that you eat?
I just eat everything that is helpful, that do my body some good.
One more. Name some of them for me, like sweet potato and others and yam, the brown food.
Yes.
Also the vegetables.
Carrots and beets and so forth.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news in Guyana, embattled former chairperson of the People's National Congress Reform Viola Lawrence made another court appearance today, 24 hours after she was arrested and questioned by police. As we hear in this report from Kirk Campbell of Newsroom Guyana, Lawrence is facing 2 new charges.
Already facing private criminal charges, the legal team of former Health Minister Valda Lawrence will now have to prepare her defense against the state-instituted charges of conspiracy to defraud, one for the general elections and another for the regional elections, both held on March 2, 2020. Lawrence was granted bail in the sum of $50,000 in each charge. The former Health Minister's attorney Nigel Yules told reporters that Turk Mohammed from the Director of Public Prosecution Office told the court that he was not ready to move forward with the case as it has been put down until December 9, 2020.
The prosecution on this occasion did not object to bail, but they did ask for substantial bail in keeping with the offense. The magistrate admitted Ms. Lawrence to bail in the sum of $50,000 in each offense, cumulative total of $100,000. The magistrate then inquired from Mr. Tariq Mohammed from the Director of Public Prosecution's Office if they were ready. He said no, they still had, I think, 10 or more statements outstanding. We suggested that they should take more time so that when we come back, they would be ready to proceed with the matter. And as a result of that, the matter has been put down for December, I think it's the 9th. The court has ordered full disclosure, which means that we should also receive copies of the video recorded interviews with Ms. Lawrence.
On the international scene, French President Emmanuel Macron has announced a nighttime curfew in Paris and 8 other cities to try to curb the rapid spread of the coronavirus. This measure will take effect from Saturday and last for at least 4 weeks.
The president said the virus has spread to all parts of France now. French President Emmanuel Macron has announced that people must stay indoors from 2100 to 6 o'clock in Paris and 8 other cities to control the rapid spread of coronavirus in the country. The curfew will come into effect from Saturday and last for at least 4 weeks, Mr. Macron said in a televised interview. A state of emergency has also been declared. A further 22,951 infections were confirmed on Wednesday. Across Europe, governments are introducing new restrictions to battle a second wave of infections. A partial lockdown comes into force in the Netherlands at 2000 Greenwich Mean Time, and cafes and restaurants are closing. Earlier on Wednesday, Spain's northeastern region of Catalonia said that bars and restaurants would close for 15 days from Thursday. The Czech Republic has shut schools and bars. It has the highest rate of infection in Europe over the past 2 weeks, at 581.3 cases per 100,000 people across Europe. Infection rates are rising, with Russia reporting a record 14,321 daily cases on Wednesday and a further 239 deaths.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.